Good afternoon. It is exactly 1 p.m. on this first Sunday of October 2024. With just one more day to go until the impeachment motion of the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua is heard in the House on Tuesday. My name is Hellen Aura, and I'll be keeping you updated on the news making headlines from across the country. Welcome to the broadcast. We begin here in Nairobi, where the Ministry of Health is currently issuing We'll come back to that story where our reporter Lois Wangoi is currently at the NHIF building. But before then, President William Ruto remains silent on the impeachment of his deputy Rigathi Gachagua just days before debate begins in Parliament. At a church service in Milimani, Nairobi, the president, instead of addressing the ongoing debate on the regulation of worship, he says freedom of worship is guaranteed in law and the state shall not interfere, which could implicate the processing of a bill in the Senate seeking to regulate places of worship. The president is instead asking the church to adopt the findings of the task force report by Reverend Mutavia Musimi and self-regulate.
Apart from what the Constitution provides, we are a God-fearing nation, and we will equally defend our faith. As Christians, as different religions, we will make sure that we protect the freedom of worship in Kenya. And I want to ask those who have ideas to allow religious leaders themselves to develop how they want to regulate themselves and how the church, how religious organizations are going to go forward. Because that was the recommendation of the task force I appointed under Reverend Mutavia Musimi, that the religious body in Kenya will decide how they want to make sure that the freedom of worship in Kenya is protected. And I want to give assurance to the church and to the religious institutions in Kenya that we will defend the right and the freedom of worship in Kenya, and it will not be compromised in whatsoever manner.
The Anglican Church of Kenya has faulted the political class in Kenya for spearheading the impeachment of Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. Archbishop Jackson Olesapit says there has been a wave of impeachment touching even the county governors, which he said was setting the country on a tense mood. He has called on the president and the deputy president to dialogue and to find a way out of their feud.
Uongozi inapolumbana hatuna mwelekeo mwema. Sasa tunaona hapa imeanza tena mapema na hatujui ni shida gani inakuwa kati ya rais na naibu na walitafuta kura wakiwa pamoja. Kwa hivyo letu nikichangia kwa niaba ya kanisa na nikiungana na wale wengine ambao wanachangia katika constituency mbalimbali, langu ni kusema hii motion ya impeachment iachwe, iwekwe kando, nafasi ya mazungumzo ipewe kipaumbele, kwamba rais akae na naibu wake na waseme kile ambayo inatofautisha, maana wakiwa viongozi katika nchi hii, njia mwafaka ambayo wataonyesha Wakenya ni kwamba tunaweza keti chini kusuluhisha shida zetu. Lakini ikiwa viongozi hawezi kuketi chini na kusuluhisha shida zao, basi inaashiria kwamba tunaonyesha Wakenya wengine kwamba nafasi ya kuketi na kusuluhisha kwa mazungumzo haiko, ni kushindana na kubaduliana. Na hiyo haitakuwa mwelekeo mwema kwa watoto wetu ambao tunafundisha, haitakuwa mwelekeo mwema kwa viongozi wachanga ambao wanakuja. Tutaitengeneza mtindo ambayo haitakuwa mzuri katika taifa hili.
Back to matters health now. The Ministry of Health is currently issuing a press briefing on the transition from the National Hospital Insurance Fund to the Social Health Authority. It has been exactly 6 days since the start of the new policy, with some teething problems experienced across the country. Our reporter Lois Wangoi is on the ground. And Lois, could you kindly tell us who is there and what should we expect out of this press briefing?
Good afternoon, Aura, and of course to you, dear viewer. As Aura noted, it has been days, around 6 days, of the shift from NHIF to SHA, which is SHA. So on this day, government delegation around matters health, led by CS Health, Dr. Deborah Barasa, are held in a meeting here at the SHA building, and we expect immediately after that meeting, well, they will be coming to us. We are expecting that they will be commenting on the rollout of SHA, the uptake, and its benefits so far, as well as its challenges to Kenyans. The past 6 days, dear viewer, have posed a significant time for the country to hold conversations on the health infrastructure and the new system that is coming in. Among the key stakeholders in that conversation has been Wanjiko on ground. And here on NTV, we have had a full week coverage of the experiences of Wanjiko on the same. Even as the new system comes in, there has been concerns on the efficiency, the practicability and suitability of SHA from NHIF. Immediately after their meeting that is going on, one led by the CS Health, like I noted, Dr. Deborah Barasa, then we will see the delegation that is in that meeting, but we understand the board of SHA could be in that particular meeting, after which they will be coming to talk to Wananchi through the media over their experiences as a government and the infrastructure that they continue to put to ensure the rolling out proper of SHA. As it is, quite a number of reactions coming in from Kenyans, many of them patients walking into government public hospitals seeking medication and also management of diseases and infections. And so far, their experiences say it has not been well. So will it be well with the healthcare infrastructure? Well, Waziri will be here and other persons held in that meeting, and we'll be here to compile it for you later in our subsequent bulletins. For now, back to you, Helen.
Thank you so much, Lois, for that, and we're looking forward to that update, as we do understand that majority of Kenyans who have been in hospital have been forced to pay out of pocket due to a mix-up in this transition. We'll be keeping you updated on that story. Now, a family in Magarini is seeking justice after their 11-year-old daughter was defiled by a middle-aged man in December last year, but capturing the suspect has proven elusive. The family claims their efforts to get justice have been thwarted since the suspect is said to be related to an area sub-chief. Ruth Sarmoi Chesenge tells us more.
In December last year, Amani, not her real name, visited her brother-in-law when a middle-aged man forced himself on her.
Muda kidogo nasikia mtu anabisha. Nikabisha nikaenda hapo nje, hata nafika hivi akanishika hapo kwa akaenda na huko nyumbani. Kaanza kufanya hayo mambo yake. Napomaliza mimi nilikuwa napiga kelele. Kuna mtu alipita alienda shambani. Ndivyo akajambia akasema kuna nini, ndivyo kamaelezea.
A week after the incident, the girl was taken to hospital and reported the matter to the police, but since then no action has been taken on the suspect.
Wakasema hayo mambo hayo tuachie sisi, tutadili nayo.
Alitoroka ikaenda hivyo jamaa station kule wakanambia kwamba wewe usifanye shida, tutamtafuta na tutampata.
The family feels like the suspect is being shielded by administration for being a relative of the area sub-chief. Relatives of the 11-year-old tracked the suspect, but despite calling the police to arrest him, no action was taken.
Hapo nyumbani ako na sub-chief, na yule amefanya kitendo kicho. Babake mkubwa ndiye ni sub-chief.
Kaenda kumuona pabo nyingine hapo ndani, ye hanioni. Nikarudi na nyuma, kaja kuambia maskari, nishamuona, twendeni. Tukaenda paka hapo. Nikamwambia wewe jamaa ndio huyo hapo ndani. Mimi nikarudi. Nilirudi na hao wakaenda, wamefanya mpango gani paka hawakumshika, sijui iliendaje, paka saa hii sijapata habari yoyote kabisa.
A village elder who was pushing for the arrest of the suspect was reportedly forced to resign by the chief after refusing to keep off from the case.
Angekuwa ni mtoto wa ndugu yako, wewe ungechukua hatua kweli? Ama ungefanya hivi? Sasa akaniambia sasa chagua mambo mawili. Ujiuzulu, ufuate hiyo kesi, ama ubaki uzo kijiji uachane na hiyo kesi.
With the police failing to take any action, the incident has left the grade 6 pupil traumatized and a victim of ridicule.
Amemaliza wiki moja huyu, hawezi kula chakula. Ni mtoto wa kulia.
Na mtoto naye saa nyingine hata ana haya na wenzake, manake anaambiwa na wenzake, "Oh, wewe ulibakwa na mtu tani kama babako." Yani ni mtu ambaye naye anashikitika, na mimi nahuzunika sana.
10 months after the incident, the family is optimistic that the long arm of government will take its course. Ruth Sarmoi Chesenge, NTV.
Quite a tragic incident there. May the family find justice. 3 people, including 2 National Police reservists and a herder who were killed by bandits in Igembe North area in Meru County, have been laid to rest. With a resounding call for an end to banditry in the region, the tragic event has sparked blame shifting between leaders and security agencies, as Nurdin Elmoge now tells us.
As these 3 fallen heroes are laid to rest in their rural home in Kamweleni, Igembe North, their death highlights Kenya's long-standing security issue of cattle wrestling, a decades-old cultural practice prevalent among pastoralist communities. These officers had been on a mission to recover over 400 cattle stolen by cattle rustlers from neighboring community when they were ambushed and killed by the armed criminals.
Kilio hiki, vilio hivi, na jeneza nyingi kama hizi, wacha tuzike watu ambao wamekufa ugonjwa ama wameitwa na Mungu katika pumziko la milele, lakini si wale ambao wamepigwa na risasi ya majangili.
Ile shinda tuko naye ni moja tu, ndio imefanya hii watu wote wamekufa zaidi ya watu 60.
Nao watu siete walikuwa ni wakora, ni watu walikuwa wanafanya kazi kujitafutia riziki.
But as families and relatives mourned their loved ones, the funeral service turned into a forum for accusation and finger pointing.
Mnaieta kwa wanasiasa. Kama umeweka kitu ya mambo ya wizi ya ng'ombe na nini kwa agenda yako ya kukampeni, jua ya kwamba baada ya miezi kadhaa hiyo agenda itakuwa agenda tena.
Mimi nakueleza, wakati hao walikufa, hakuna askari alikuwa hapo. Wale askari walikuwa karibu ni wale wa ile APC. Sababu there is no coordination.
Na ninajua serikali kusema kweli inajaribu vile inavyoweza.
While discussions continue at funerals and other public gatherings, cattle rustling is evolving into a lucrative business for some, turning grief into opportunity for criminals. Nurdin Elmoge, NTV.
We're taking a short break here on NTV at 1, but don't go too far. We have more lined up for you.
Dawa, tu vitu tudogo lakini hesabu mingi. 1 times 4, 3 times 2, 2 times.
Umepitisha limit ya dawa.
That's a tough pill to swallow. He's now wondering why he doesn't have Shwari medical cover. Una access full limit kutumia unavyohitaji. Ukiwa na Shwari, utawaisikia umepitisha limit ya dawa na bado kuna pesa imebaki. Bonyeza *371# kuchukua Shwari medical cover leo.
Introducing Festive Cakes.
We have some delightful snacks for all of you.
The Festive Siambela Cake. Indulge in the pleasure of a cone-shaped cake that's bursting with flavors.
Where did you come from?
Come. So this is where the magic happens. This is for you kids.
Festive cupcakes.
Thank you.
Perfect treat to share with friends and family.
Now for your kids' school snacks, hakuna stress.
Festive pink cakes. The perfect blend of sweetness and softness.
And now this is for you, Dad, and your office mate.
Festive pound cake. This sumptuous cake will leave you craving for more. Taste the magic with our festive cakes from DPL Festive Bakery. Delight with every bite.
Usiachwe nyuma. Join us at the Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon. Register by visiting www.nairobimarathon.com and help us move Kenya forward. Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon. Run, embrace possibility.
This week on Cards with Big Boy Trev, we take a look at the Hyundai Tucson, Korea's answer to the fierce soft roader contest in the used car segment. We check out its design and styling, practicality, engine performance, and its value for money proposition against its well-established rivals like the Toyota RAV4 and the Honda CR-V. Catch this and much more only on Cards with Big Boy Trev this Sunday at 5 p.m. only on NTV.
The beauty soaps I know don't give germ protection.
Dettol Skincare does. It combines the trusted protection of Dettol with 2 times moisturizers to protect my skin from germs and keeps my skin soft with a beautiful fragrance. Beautiful skin is germ-free skin.
Welcome back to NTV at 1 with me, Hellen Aura. 6 passengers on board a Kwale-bound bus have cheated death after their vehicle lost control in the mainland ramp at the Likoni Ferry crossing channel. Preliminary investigations reveal that the brakes of the vehicle failed while climbing on the slippery ramp, sliding back into the ferry and flipped on the side, part of it getting submerged into the Indian Ocean. Here's NTV's Kevin Mutai with the details.
The incident occurred at around 8 o'clock Sunday morning when the bus with registration number KCF286V lost control and overturned at the Likoni Ferry crossing channel. Witnesses say that the bus was disembarking from the ferry, but the brakes failed as it was ascending to the slippery ramp.
Gari liko natoka Matu to Ukunda, so imevuka ferry. Gari zinatoka kwa feri, mkokoteni liko mbele na magari zingine ndogo ndogo sio ziko kwa mlima. Alafu yote iko ishatoka kwa feri ndio inapanda. So mbele gari hazisongi, gari yetu kwa mlima kurudi chini kwa feri. Safu kulikuwa na mvua, ile gari iliteleza ikarudi.
The driver redirected the bus back to the ferry to avoid slipping into the deep waters of the Indian Ocean.
Kurudi nyuma, ilirudi nyuma na akaijaribu ndio ikabidi aitan ndio ianguke, isianguke ndani ya maji.
Fortunately, there were no casualties reported in the incident. All the 6 passengers and the driver rescued and evacuated to hospital, some escaping with only minor injuries.
Wote wako sawa, ni kushtuka tu, walifaa kushtuka. So ni mama mmoja na demu mwingine ndio wameshtuka, lakini wengine wako sawa.
First responders secured the vehicle with wire cables and ropes to prevent it from drifting further into the ocean as they waited for a tow truck to pull it out. The vehicle temporarily blocked the channel, creating traffic as there was no landing of the 2 ferries which were crossing at the channel at the time of the accident.
Maji mnaona yanatoka. Unaona, na maji yakitoka ni mara moja kuchukua hiyo basi ingizwe ndani ya maji. So tuwapeni pongezi sana officers wote wale waliokuwa hapa.
The bus was finally retrieved from the channel and operations resumed to normalcy. Motorists have also been urged to exercise caution and be alert while ascending to the steep ramps at the ferry and raise alarm in good time to avert disaster.
There is a process to transfer the assets from Kenya Ferry Services to Kenya Ports Authority, and that is why currently it's still a process which is on its final stages.
Kevin Mutai, NTV, in Mombasa.
The Gigiri Police Station, in collaboration with its host community, has initiated a commendable award program aimed at recognizing and honoring the dedication and hard work of officers at the station in maintaining law and order in the community. While launching the first edition of the awards at Gigiri Police Station, the resident officers acknowledged that the community-led awards will go a long way in motivating police officers while at the same time improving working relationships between the community and the police officers at Gigiri Police Station. Dubbed Best Police Awards, the scheme will be run and managed by Gigiri Community Foundation alongside other partners, and the host community will vote for best performing officers at the station in different categories, including crime and drug abuse, gender-based violence.
To do an audition, you used to stay in a house. For example, we can regional police commander.
Tunafanya community policing tu ambayo ilikuwa kutoka kitambo, lakini tumeileta in a better way. Maybe it's not that we are perfect, but we are trying to make it work in a good way or in a good manner. Tunatumia because zamani ilikuwa ni wazee wa vijiji wanakaa na machief, hiyo ndio community policing, lakini sisi tumekuja na njia ya michezo, tumekuja na njia kama hii ya kuweza kuwezesha polisi waweze kutangamana na raia.
Tunashukuru na tunaomba mwende hivyo, kwa sababu uhusiano ulioko kati ya polisi na wananchi kila wakati unaendelea kusoroteka, lakini sasa tumepata nyinyi kama watetezi na tunajua uhusiano utakuwa ni mzuri.
Meanwhile, a section of leaders have called on the president to reconcile with his embattled deputy Rigathi Gachagua for the sake of political stability and development in the country. This comes at a time when the deputy president is facing an impeachment process that has elicited different reactions across the country.
A day after the conclusion of the countrywide public participation exercise on the impeachment motion against the deputy president Rigathi Gachagua, Kirinyaga Central Legislator Gashoki Girati is among leaders who are now calling for political truce between the two leaders.
So my prayer is the same way they are talking with, or they spoke with the former Prime Minister, na wakakubaliana, wakae chini na Gachagua, waongee wakubaliane.
We want a one Kenya. We want everybody to see that the nation belongs to all of us. We are not, as members of parliament, our work is not to disturb the peace of the nation.
During the two-day public participation exercise, a section of Kenyans called for the impeachment of both the deputy president and his boss, President William Ruto. However, a section of leaders from West Pokot County have rejected the calls, arguing that it will complicate the process of sending the DP packing.
Ile kitu kubwa ni heshima. Unajua ofisi inaitwa siku hizi presidency. Si ati president na deputy. Presidency lazima wafanye kazi kwa pamoja. Lakini ukipata mwingine sasa anataka kufuta mkuu ya mwingine, mtu anataka kwenda mbele, mwingine anataka kufuta, hiyo hata hakuna mali tutaenda.
Wale ambao wanapanga njama ya kuweza kufuruga mikutano ya watu kutoa maoni wanafanya makosa. Na niliona hata jana kuna watu wengine walikubali, wengine walikataa. Sasa hiyo ndio demokrasia. So mimi nataka niseme ya kwamba kwa sababu wale ambao wanatoa furugu ni watu wamepangwa. Wengine wanapangwa ndio ionekane kwamba hata Wakenya hawakutaka hii maneno na ndio furugu ikatokea.
Meanwhile, agitated residents in Kiambaa constituency protested the absence of their member of parliament John Kawanjiko during the public participation exercise. They are accusing the legislator of avoiding the views of the people on the matter. So far, there are 11 cases in court seeking to stop the impeachment of the deputy president. NTV.
Further afield, the Democratic Republic of Congo has launched its first mpox vaccination campaign as part of its ongoing efforts to curb the spread of the infectious disease. This initiative comes in response to a rise in cases within DRC, with health workers getting the jobs fast.
North Kivu province in DRC Congo is among the most populous and most affected area by outbreaks, and as such, it is among the top beneficiaries for the mpox vaccination drive. Here, health workers are receiving the vaccine as a precautionary measure as they move from community to community administering the jab. I was motivated to get vaccinated today because as frontline workers, we are supposed to get vaccinated first so that the virus does not spread in the community. We are also here to protect them. The uptake of the mpox vaccination in DRC Congo is impressive, with many citizens voluntarily arriving at the vaccination points, after which they are issued with a vaccination card for health mapping and follow-ups against the spread of mpox.
We are supporting all sectors, and particularly today during the launch of the mpox vaccination campaign, which is extremely important in the fight against transmission and the circulation of the virus in North Kivu, but also across the entire country. Therefore, we support governments at the national, local, and provincial levels. In this fight, it is not just about vaccination. Other interventions are equally crucial. This includes risk communication and community engagement, laboratory work and diagnostics, surveillance to know the total number of cases, and care management for critical cases.
However, DRC Congo's health ministry has warned that the campaign scope suffers limited resources for the disease that spreads through close contact, presenting in flu-like symptoms and pus-filled lesions, which can be fatal if left untreated. According to data from WHO, DRC Congo has reported 990 deaths to mpox, with more than 30,000 suspected cases. Lois Wangoi, NTV.
Let's get sporty now. 36-year-old Vincent Lagat ran a superb race to clinch victory in the Betika Cross Country Championship in Kericho, with Sheila Chelagat securing the top accolade in the women's race at Kericho's Teachers Training College grounds. Lagat stopped the timer after 30 minutes and 4.95 seconds to emerge victorious, with Matthew Kipkoech finishing 6 seconds behind Francis Kipkorir, rounding off the podium places 10 seconds later. In the women's race, Chelagat was head and shoulders above the rest of the pack as she clocked 33 minutes and 18.95 seconds, which was close to 14 seconds ahead of second place Diana Chepkorir. Third place, Maureen Chepkoech clocked 33 minutes and 52.40 seconds. Each of the winners walked away with 150,000 Kenya shillings.
Message ambayo tunaleta leo ni kwamba Kenya iko na talent ya athletics, si haba, that is known. Na pia tunakuja kuleta message ya anti-doping. We are telling our athletes to run clean.
Siko natarajia lakini nila tu kungangana.
Mudomi Kanana of Windsor Golf Club continued with her winning streak in the second day of the annual Kenya Ladies Open Amateur Stroke Play Champions at the VetLab Sports Club, Nairobi. Kanana, who carded 3 over par 75 gross with a total of 150 gross on Friday and Saturday, is under pressure from Naomi Wafula of Vipingo Golf Resort and Joyce of Kiambu Golf Club. The 3-day 54-hole Kenya Ladies Golf Union event ends on Sunday, 6th of October 2024. The event has attracted 62 lady golfers from different clubs and 4 countries, namely Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, and Zimbabwe.
We are competing for various trophies, the most prestigious one being the Mary Neville Trophy, which is played by golfers of handicap 9 and below. This is a WAGA ranked event, which means the World Amateur Golf Ranking, an international and prestigious ranking of elite players. The Stroke Play Championship is played over 3 rounds, 54 holes in 3 days, and the overall winner of the 54 holes will get a prestigious award and will be recognized and will also earn Golfer of the Year points.
Thank you for keeping me company here on NTV at 1. As you continue to enjoy the rest of your viewing, may the month of October bring you good tidings. My name is Hellen Aura. Have a blessed afternoon and see you next Sunday.